Forever. Dog.
Greetings, mortals. I am the Lord thy God, King of the universe, creator of space. We don't need the vocal effects. Can we lose that?
That's my actual voices. Okay, great. Hello, I am the Lord thy God, King of the universe, creator of space and time, or as I prefer to be known these days, at the tweet of God. For over a decade, I've entertained my over 6.2 million followers with my wit, misanthropy, and oft-stated regret I created any and all of you. Well, now I'm taking my hilarious blend of contempt and disgust from the Twitterverse to the podcast verse with my new show, the predictably named Godcast, premiering Wednesday, January 27th on Forever Dog. On Godcast, I'll be opening up my infinite mind about everything from politics to the nature of reality to this week's point spreads to how much longer I'll save the Queen to that weird new growth on your neck. I'll answer prayers, take spiritual phone calls, surprise people with live eternal damnations, justify the platypus, and even explain the Bible, which is not at all easy to do. Plus, every episode, I'll be interviewing a guest, either alive, like Stephen Colbert, Zooey Deschanel, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, or dead, like Moses, Amelia Earhart, and Lizzie Borden. Joining me for it all will be my adorable sidekick, the 18 to 34 demo appealing Joan of Arc.
Hi, God.
Hi, Joan. You excited for the show?
Sure am. Hey, could you put me out now?
Not now, maybe soon.
Sounds great.
New episodes of Godcast will premiere every Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Or you can, and will, go to hell. Godcast, from the creator of At the Tweet of God, and everything else.
You're going to be a chili person, Brett, when we're done with this. You're going to have, like, Brett's famous chili.
I am. Well, I actually want to apply to be a judge at this Terlingua thing in 2021.
Okay.
And they have, like, an application process online. So I think
I was going to say, are you asking us for letters of recommendation?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys know my CV at this point, so I could
Sure, of course.
I could use some recs.
Okay,
To whom it may concern.
you'll get a rec.
Oy, oy, oy.
This is the rec right now. This episode. You want a rec? It's the chili episode of Double Threat. There's your rec.
Yum, yum, yum.
So well, first of all, this is Double Threat. Welcome to Double Threat.
Welcome to the show. It's your pals, Tom and Julie.
Yes, and I'm Tom.
And unfortunately, I'm Julie.
Well, not this week. I'd say this week you don't want to be Tom if you're looking stupid because
we've all made mistakes, Tom.
Look, last week on the show, we're doing the show, we're laughing it up, having a great time. And then I say to Brett, hey, find that picture of Jack Nicholson spilling chili on his pants courtside at a Lakers game. Because I had seen the picture online. Somebody on Twitter did one of those little four image square thingies where you see all the pictures. It was 4 shots of Jack Nicholson being a slob at a basketball game. And one of them was him with chili spilled all over his pants. And then we bring it up. We're laughing at it. We're analyzing it.
You brought it up. We were laughing and enjoying it.
No, we were all laughing though.
Yeah.
But I initiated it.
Mea culpa. You were bamboozled. It's okay.
Yeah, I was hoodwinked, and of all the places to get hoodwinked by the frickin' Onion, it's the most basic move. It makes you am I basic now?
No, I think what's more basic than getting hoodwinked by the Onion is
saying basic.
No, somebody posting an article from the Real News and saying, "Is this the Onion?"
Yeah, I would say, okay, well, that's the top of the pyramid, but I'm a couple bricks down by falling for an onion, a jape from the Onion.
Falling for an onion.
I fell for it.
It was a good Photoshop. It was a good Photoshop.
They did a good job. And look, is Brett to blame? No. I asked him to bring an image
No
up. He
one
just
even
found
asked
the
that
image.
question. You asked it as though everyone was thinking that.
No, these are the things that we've all been talking about this
No,
week.
we haven't.
I mean, asking that question implies that the answer is yes to some degree.
But if you got to ask it.
Should Brett be the final safeguard on things that reach the air? Is a question many have asked.
No one.
I say no. I let Brett off the hook on this one.
That Tom calls himself Many sometimes. That's his nickname. Many have asked.
Some say that Brett should take the hit on this one. I say no, Brett.
Sources say.
Well, look, Tom, I had your back this week. I mean, I spent a large portion of my week trying to generate evidence that the person depicted in the photo, henceforth known as Chili Jack, was actually a real person.
No, and this look, I give you this. First of all, you went so far above and beyond with trying to, not unlike a Tupperware container full of chili, you tried to smear this incident everywhere so nobody even knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But at the core of it is me looking dumb.
Let's just say, for people who don't know, like, Brett really did go above and beyond making Chili Jack like the new Bernie at the inauguration.
Yes.
And a big thanks to our listeners there. I mean, some incredible work across the board. You can see all that on our Instagram and our Twitter at Double Threat Pod.
But Tom created a narrative in which that is a redemption story for Brett, apparently.
No, Brett, I'm going to say this. Brett took one. Brett said, I'm going to go to work to help keep, not unlike this fictional version of Jack Nicholson, he tried to keep the chili off of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The way Jack in that fantasy land that I fell for had chili all over him.
Well, it's like if you're a little kid and you pee your pants. By the way, those Liam Neeson photos are real. We're going to go ahead and say that that Keisha was,
100% real.
There's no chili on her pants. But I was just going to say,
what that feels like. I wonder what that feels like.
If you're a little kid and you pee your pants and you're embarrassed and everyone around you feels bad for you, so they all pee their pants. This happened in my school. Am I the only one? No, I'm kidding. It never did. But it's almost like Brett spilled chili on himself because he was looking to take the hit.
Brett stood up, said, I am Spartacus,
and peed his
pants.
And
then poured chili on his pants.
That would have been a better movie. Can I just say, in Spartacus, if they all stood up, said, I am Spartacus, and poured chili on their heads?
Oh, my God. Then I would actually have seen the movie and not just referencing a thing that I know about. That's one of the ones I ain't seen.
My mom saw it in the theater, and she said, like, when that scene came on, like, all these guys in the audience stood up and said, I am Spartacus. It's like, come on. Guy, can you imagine like being a dude in the 60s being like, I'm going to do something real funny?
Yeah. That's like clapping when the plane lands. It's just like they can't, this does nothing to move the needle on anything.
It's also the least interesting part of Spartacus. It's one of those movies where like the most memorable or most like famous scene is the least interesting. I mean, you've got like
now,
a great...
Brett, if you noticed, what Brett just did is he bragged that he's seen Spartacus.
Yeah, he said, well, I saw it.
It was like, well, it's not as good as the book. Well, it's not as good as the British version.
Brett
That's
said,
what he just did.
Yeah, no.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was some.
I'm just trying to shout out. You got a great Peter Ustinov a performance in there. You got a great Tony Curtis performance. It's just the whole like scene at the end. To be honest, is a little corny. And I think overshadows some of the better parts of the movie.
Tom.
Yeah, Julie.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. I all I know is I've been in a daze all week, looking dumb online, and this is my chance. This is my chance to find some answers. I did so much talking. Now maybe it's time I did a little listening.
Well, I've got good news for you in that department, because the last thing I wanted to happen out of all this is for this to leave a bad taste in your mouth about chili. Like I didn't want it to ruin chili for you. I know it was kind of a traumatic experience, this week, and so this week is all about redeeming chili, and making chili something that is a pleasant a memory for you when you hear the word. And so we've got this week on the show, we're going to have a bunch of chili experts, people from the world of chili come on the show. We are coming up in a little bit. We've got there are two competing international chili agencies in the world that kind of monitor chili, cook-offs and official chili competitions.
I rephrase. I say, as you know, there are two major chili. What is it? Organizations?
Yeah. Society. I think they say societies. So,
okay. Yes, of course. Like Skull and Bones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've got the CASI, which is the Chili Appreciation Society International. And we're going to have Keith and Mike from the CASI come on and talk to us. Then there's the International Chili Society, the ICS, and we're going to have another Mike McCloud, who's the president of ICS, come on.
I just want to say that in both of these cases, they're really leaning into international. Tom, did you notice that?
Julie, chili is not just a U.S. dish anymore. Not unlike a fictional Jack Nicholson, it has spread everywhere. Chili's all over the place.
Here's what I will say about your gaffe. May that be the worst mistake you've ever made. You know what I mean? Like, if that's the thing you're embarrassed about most, then you did pretty well.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. It's cold comfort. I was trying to have a perfect streak till I hit the grave, and that is now not going to happen. They're going to put on my tombstone, Chili Clown. He believed a picture from the frickin' Onion. It's going to say on my headstone. The Onion. That's the thing that fools weird 75-year-old politicians are always like, I read an article that apparently Teletubbies are making children gay, or whatever they would get all twisted about. And then everybody go, oh, this idiot saw it in the Onion and believed it. And here I am right next to
Trent
Larry Craig or whoever. Remember him? Wide Stance, Larry Craig.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I have a wide stance.
Well, look, depending on how today goes, maybe this will be what they remember you for. The gaffe will be consumed by today's episode.
The gaffe will be a laugh.
This is what I want to do with these guys. I need some chili redemption for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I want these two chili organizations to be declaring war on each other after this episode. I think there's a way. If you're going to have a chili organization and then there's another one, you got to want to beat the other one, right?
Well, we're about to find out if there's like a friendly competition or an unfriendly competition.
And they don't know, these two organizations don't know that they're both coming on the show.
So
what are you producing the Jenny Jones show now? Are we doing the Jenny Jones show? Right? And here's the person that had the crush on you. Come on out. Well, I know my goal today is to be a part of a show that informs the podcast world, of the comedy podcast world, about chili.
Well, what is your attitude about chili in general?
Oh, I like chili. I had good chili. We made good chili here actually a week ago, where it was nice vegetarian chili with sweet potatoes, and so good. I like chili. But
that was a really cozy answer, I must admit.
The taste of chili has been, it might as well be rancid.
Boy.
It might as well be made with worms.
Ask me my attitude towards chili.
Julie, what's your attitude toward chili?
I kind of like it, and it kind of makes me want to throw up.
Sure.
Like,
that's a fair answer.
Like, it's not soup, and if I'm going to eat it for a meal, like, I'm going to need a starch. I'm going to need some rice or
cornbread.
Cornbread or a potato.
Now, Brett, do you have an opinion of chili?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of chili. I was for this week. I've always been sort of just an amateur lover of chili, but did a big deep dive on chili culture this week, and I got to say I'm ready to go all in on chili. It's really a fascinating world. There's all these different regional varieties. You got your Texas chili, your Cincinnati chili, your chili verde. There's a lot of different varieties to it. So I'm looking forward to talking to these chili experts today and getting more into this. Because depending on how today goes, I'm ready to go all in on chili.
This is what we do when we screw up. We don't put it past us. We don't forgive ourselves.
No.
We lean in and we beat ourselves up forever.
And I know there's people that go, oh, well, now there's probably people going to get me on some. I feel like I'm some oldster that's going to get ripped off for some reverse prime mortgage thing next. Somebody's going to sell. I'm going to sell my life insurance or whatever these con men do to marks. I feel like a mark now. Like people just see me sitting there and I'm a mark. There's not as much of a mark. WTF doesn't have a bigger mark than this show does right now. Right now, Double Threat has a bigger mark than WTF has. I want to, whoever put that picture up.
Oh, now you're mad at him.
Did me dirty.
You're mad at, there we go.
No. I fell for it. I'm the one that stepped in the trap.
Look, today's about changing the narrative. If people online want to squabble about, Photoshop this, Photoshop that, they can do it.
By the way, no one is saying that. You're the only person, Tom. You're the only person.
I want to ask these chili guys if they see this photo, if they think it looks, I'm not going to tell them it's fake.
All right.
We show them the photo. You go like, hey, what would you do if this happened to you?
By the way, speaking of corrections, I confused John Hinckley Jr. for Mark David Chapman 2 weeks ago. I was humiliated, but I blocked it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still actually super embarrassed about it. But we're not going to have him come on. Are either of those guys still alive? Mark David Chapman?
Hinckley's alive. I think they're both alive.
Well, we'll have them be like the two chili organizations.
Alive and well. Both of these rats. Still living there. Oh, my hip hurts. Boy, the old body's starting to wear down, huh?
Getting old is not for what is that expression? Aging is not for the
aged. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. This chili thing rattled my confidence.
Here we go.
I need these chili guys. These chili guys don't know. I need them to help find my smile again.
This is what I'm going to say. Mistakes are in the past. Let's learn about chili.
Yes, let's learn about chili.
Hello, Double Threat listeners. I want to tell you about Karaff vitamins. And this is true, I've been using Karaff for a while now, and so I was thrilled when they joined the show as a sponsor. Karaff is a wellness brand that makes it easy to maintain your health goals with a customized vitamin plan that helps you feel your best today and supports you long term. And look, that is just a fancy way of saying, hey, you need vitamins as part of a healthy self-care regimen, and Karaff is the best way to get them. I can personally vouch for that because Karaff makes it easy and they customize the vitamins to your needs. So here's what you do. Karaff has an in-depth 5-minute online quiz. It's in-depth, but it's quick and it's easy to take, and it asks you questions about your diet, your lifestyle, your health concerns in order to help you address your specific wellness goals. It's like getting a one-on-one consultation with a nutritionist, all without leaving your house. And as a result, Karaff will put together a personally tailored approach to your unique health needs. And so the vitamins they send you are not just a random pack of vitamins that you picked off a shelf, they are customized for you. And all of Karaff's products are formulated with good-for-you, clean ingredients that are backed by science. Karaff is super transparent about the research and sourcing behind each one of their products, and your recommendations come in daily, individually wrapped packets that are perfect for getting back into a routine. So we're well into the new year now. I'm sure a lot of your big pie in the sky resolutions, let's be honest, mine as well, have kind of fallen by the wayside. That's just what happens. But here is a small, impactful, easy to accomplish change that you can make in your life this year is to get healthier through daily vitamin use with Care of. And one of the best parts, as always, we've got a special offer just for Double Threat listeners. For 50% off your first Care of order, half off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter promo code TomandJulie50. That's takecareof.com, promo code TomandJulie50 for 50% off your first order. Thanks, Care of.
Hello, Forever Dog listeners. I'm Allison Raskin.
And I'm Gabby Dunn.
And we host the podcast Just Between Us, which is available right here, right now on Forever Dog.
Just Between Us is a variety show that features listener questions, in-depth interviews, and topical topics.
We also play a game show called Hypotheticals. I could try to explain it to you, but the rules keep changing. I make the rules.
And I always lose. We're also joined each week by incredible guests, including disability activist Alice Wong, Planned Parenthood's Alexis McGill-Johnson, best-selling author and therapist Lori Gottlieb, and primatologist Kate Gilmore.
New episodes of Just Between Us drop every Wednesday. So while you're listening to this podcast, search for Just Between Us with Allison Raskin and Gabby Dunn. Hit that subscribe button and check us out.
Please.
Please.
Just Between Us.
Well, I got good news because I got Keith and Mike from the CASI, the Chili Appreciation Society International, joining the call. Should I go ahead and bring Keith and Mike in and we'll get this started?
Okay, here we go.
I wish you would. Hi, Mike. Hi, Keith.
How are y'all?
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
What is ground zero for the best chili that the world should follow, and who's getting it wrong?
Many a fight has been started over that question.
Well, let's go. We want you to tear each other into bloody shards.
Well, actually, that's what started the organization.
A fight.
There was a newspaper columnist in New York City that was
York City?
Yes.
Remember that salsa commercial? New York City.
And this is what really got the fight started was H. Allen Smith, this pompous New Yorker, wrote an article for Holiday Magazine called "I Know More About Chili Than Anybody."
Okay.
And that just inflamed the Texans because the Texans believe that the only chili, the right way to make chili is the Texas way to make chili.
And what is the Texas way to make chili?
Texas way to chili. It's a red chili. And it's meat and gravy only. And that's it.
No beans.
No beans.
There's an old saying that says, if you know beans about chili, you know there's no beans in chili.
And what a saying it is.
In fact, back in the 50s, one of the original books on the history of chili was called With or Without Beans, because that has always been the debate.
Mike is holding up a book that's called With or Without Beans.
It's one of the trifecta of chili history is with or without beans.
Well, now you're going to have to tell me what the other two things are because you said trifecta.
Well, A Bowl of Red by Frank X. Tolbert, who was a newspaper man for the Dallas Morning News, who did a lot to promote chili in the early days, and especially the chili championship down in Terlingua between H. Allen Smith and Wick Fowler back in '67. And then the third piece I'll hold up is by H. Allen Smith, the pompous New Yorker, who was a humorist, claims to be the most popular humorist since Mark Twain in American history. So
you hate him. You hate him.
Well, he did a lot.
He was in front of you. If he was in front of you right now,
it's always good to have a chilly villain, to get to root against.
You hate him so much. You hate him so much.
So how contentious does the world of chili enthusiasm get? Like if you see somebody eating chili the wrong way, do you just want to pour it over their head?
Oh no. Chili is just the excuse for the party.
Okay.
With us, it's friendly competition, and it's that way with all the groups, actually. Mm-hmm. And that one of them is offering big bucks. But for us, it's like when we have our championship in Terlingua every year, For us, it's like a giant family reunion.
Absolutely.
Please tell us more about this Terlingua Championship. What is that?
Terlingua International Chili Championship. It happens the first full weekend in November every year, with the exception of last year because of COVID and everything that was going on. We were not able to have the championship in Terlingua. Cassie, we actually have our own site. We own a 320-acre ranch out between a town called Study Butte and Lajitas. And we're about 30 miles from Big Bend National Park. And you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, when I should add that when Keith says ranch, we're talking about scorpions and tarantulas and rocks and tumbleweeds and some of the rattlesnakes, some of the most beautiful views you will ever see in your life. The sunrises and then sunsets are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's
so I'm sorry, just to be clear. So once a year you guys go to the desert and you
to the high desert. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you eat chili and you judge it.
I get in trouble for saying this stuff all the time, but it's a week-long party. And we probably have anywhere in the neighborhood of 1,200 to 2,000 spectators that come out that are not chili cooks. They're just there for the party for the week. And on one day, on Saturday, is judging day.
Tell me about judging day. And by the way, quick question. When people go there, is the chili already made or do they make it on site?
No.
No.
That's part of the fun.
No.
All the chili is made from scratch on site. Every competition has that rule. So
even though you guys are in the middle of the desert, you have the
we
facilities.
Gotta haul it. I live in Virginia. I've got to put everything on an airplane and haul it down to the desert, fly into El Paso or Midland, Texas, and drive another 280 miles with pots and pans and stoves and everything.
You take your own equipment and you make magic happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have a gourmand of sorts on our very own program. Brett, our producer, you can see there. He's a usually he specializes in rubs and glazes is where his passions
for fish.
That's
primarily
his foundation.
He would make a very good chili cook then.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I saw online that you can apply. Is this right? You can apply to be a judge at the Terlingua Championships.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brett wants to be a judge.
I'm just wondering what kind of credentials you're looking for. What kind of, how can I, if I was to apply, how can I kind of, help my application? What can I do to
Well, the number one thing, you got to love chili.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're qualified.
Brett and his friend Abe Lincoln both enjoy chili, if you know what I mean. Right? Does that help get the application to the top of the pile?
That has nothing to do with it.
Sure. And what are some of the what are the categories of judging that go into a chili? Is it flavor, consistency,
or do you have categories like beans, or are there no beans allowed at the chili festival?
Right. No.
We have a separate competition for beans.
Yeah.
You what?
We have a beans competition. That's something that we also judge.
The same week?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't call that chili, you call it beans?
No, we call it beans.
It's just beans. We do on Friday is our we run several scholarship programs. And on Friday is our National Scholarship Day. And we run a beans, wings, and salsa competition that's open to anybody, and they're all money categories.
Okay.
Fees go into our scholarship fund.
Who knew that chili was so altruistic? I did not know the chili community
was sponsoring the next generation of chili lovers.
Yeah, actually, every chili cook-off is a fundraiser typically for a local charity. So there are 500 to 600 cook-offs that we sanction each year to help folks advance to the international championship down in Terlingua. And in the process of doing that, we raise somewhere between $1 million and $1.5 million every year, primarily for local charities. Could be
Wow, now that is spicy.
Yeah, could be
So-
an animal shelter or a local volunteer fire department, or you name it, whatever.
Well, the fire department seems appropriate, which leads me to my next question. Is like 4-alarm chili still a thing? Are there still alarms used to judge or to categorize chili? Do we still use alarms? Keith is shaking his head no.
No. It's you had asked earlier about he'd asked about the judging. When they judge for us, it's 5 criteria. It's taste, aftertaste, aroma, consistency, and color.
Okay, so not heat.
No.
But the heat figures into the taste and the aftertaste. It has to taste like chili, and chili has an afterburn to it. So
is there a category where, like, do you mark the heat of something, or everyone's just like, there's no limit? You know what I mean? Like, there's no safe word. You're just
we have another.
I'm at a chili
competition.
World. Sorry, go
we
ahead.
have another saying in the chili world, and that is the best kind of chili is the kind you like. So ultimately, we give instructions to the judges on what they should be looking for, but they apply their own history with chili, their mom's recipe, whatever, their grandma's recipe, whatever they like, and that's usually what kind of colors
But Mike, this is what I'm asking. If Brett is judging the chili competition, and Brett is like, I can't eat anything too spicy, is he ineligible, or is any category like all bets are off? This might have ghost peppers in it.
I would bet that there's no ghost peppers, because you don't want to kill a judge's palate. That's one of the ways you can get tossed off of a table pretty quickly.
That decision is left up to the specific judges, because what I think is spicy hot and what you think is spicy hot are completely different things, probably. I'm not going to pick on them, but I'm going to pick on them. I've got friends in the Midwest that think that black pepper is really spicy. I mean, black pepper down here, it's like salt.
Because I can take a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice, but I think Julie's question is a good one. Because at this point, I'm pretty committed to coming out to Terlingua this year and taking part in this.
Good.
But I want to know. I do. Is there a possibility that I would take a bite of a chili that's in competition and just get my head totally blown off, or is that usually not going to happen?
I don't think that's going to happen. You may get one that's a little hotter, spicier than you think. Because that occasionally does happen, but 9 times out of 10, that's
sounds like there's a bullet in this chamber, Brett. You're playing you're playing Texas roulette with this.
We'll take good care of you, Brett. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, most of the chilies fall between a 4 and a 6, because you want a good balance of flavor and heat. That's really what makes a great chili. It's the kind of flavor where you just want to keep going back and eating more and more and more. And more of it. That's what you're really shooting for. So you're trying to pack a lot of flavor into a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons worth of chili. And you're judging 15 to 20 chilies is typically what you're going to get a chance to judge on Championship Chili.
You're saying he's going to. Have you accepted him to be a judge?
Sure.
Why not?
Oh my God. This is huge. This is huge. You guys made my day.
Now, are there other chili organizations? Are you the chili organization?
There are 2. There are 3 total in the country.
Okay.
There is CASI. Then there is the Tolbert group. They're in Texas. Then the 3rd group is International Chili Society, which is ICS.
And what's their deal?
That's the money.
Oh, tell me more.
A lot of times you see on some of these food cooking shows, the network shows where they do a chili cook-off. You see people getting up there to get $25,000 and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's ICS. That's International Chili Society.
So they're in the pocket of Big Chili.
It's
where do they get that money, Keith?
It's a different philosophy. We like to, we cook for bragging rights and eternal gratitude from the recipients of the charitable contributions that we make. So we'd like to return as much money as possible. This is all an out of pocket endeavor for us. And so, like I said, we want to raise as much money as we can for the charities. ICS, that prize money comes out. They are also cooking for charity, but that prize money is coming out of what could have gone to the charity. But the sponsors are putting up the money for.
That's sponsors and underwriters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they make sure, here's what's left for the kids.
No, they do very well. I mean, it's on the flip side of the donation sides of everything. All three organizations do very, very well by charities.
Okay.
What do you hate the most about the International Chili
She's trying
Society?
to start an incident here.
No, there's no. I mean, it's like Mike said. It's just a different philosophy.
Is it their attitude?
Well, they are based in California versus Texas.
There it is.
Tom!
So they've got beans, right? They've got beans in their chili.
Actually, they don't.
Well,
they don't. It actually, just a little bit about International Chili Society. Back in their history, you know who Carol Shelby is?
No.
That name? The
Shelby Mustang.
Shelby Mustang.
Okay.
He was the one that designed he's the one that designed the Cobra for Ford with the Mustang.
Okay.
The car guy. Anyway, Carol Shelby started ICS out in California.
Okay.
But he was an original participant down in Terlingua in '67.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's where
okay. So they're carpetbaggers, is what you're
all
saying.
three organizations actually share the same root. We all started.
We're like the three great religions.
That took off in '67.
There's only three? What about Scientology? Can I interest you gentlemen in Scientology?
We didn't mention this is a Scientology sponsored podcast.
Well, like I say, I was a Terlingua guy already, but now I'm definitely a Terlingua guy after hearing the distinctions between the
I don't know. I'm
going to
need to hear a little bit more trash about ICS.
You'll really enjoy it down there because if you get a chance to judge not only the chili, but the earlier days, if you do the wings and the beans, you will come back and you'll say, I have never had beans or wings that taste that fantastic in my entire life. I've judged it all down there besides competing down there, and it'll just blow your mind. It's worth it to come down there just for that. And the salsa. They do salsa, traditional salsa, and pico de gallo. So these are all very large food competitions. Most of them are the largest of their kind in the world, and people love it.
So
I'll tell you what, though, Brett, if you go down there and you start clowning around and ruining their chili, they're going to walk you right out into the desert. Nobody's ever going to hear from you again.
Oh, no.
They'll find a skeleton out in Terlingua.
But it is easy to hide a body there, right? Like there's not a lot of. You said you had to drive like 300 miles.
Actually, the ranch is built. The whole Terlingua was a mercury mining town back in the early 1900s and the 20s. And right behind our ranch are just miles and miles and miles of mine tunnels.
Right. So you could store someone in the tunnel without even having to dig.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really got to be on my best behavior this year at Terlingua.
You don't go down doing your comedy routines, Brett.
Yeah, I got to really get because guys, I got to tell you too, I do live in California as well, so I hope I'm not going to have like the taint of the ICS on me when I come out there.
The stench of ICS.
Yeah, just make sure when you get your rental car that it has Texas tags on it. Don't let them give you tags from another state. You'll get pulled over if you're driving around with on Texas tags.
Yeah. And Brett, also, you go down, you do the wrong thing, you'll be in the Scorpions have a Brett tasting contest.
Actually, the cooks, we have cooks that cook all three. They're members of all three, and they cook all three organizations. So it's
so traitors.
No.
Okay.
Julie, you're just not letting this go. You're really trying to instigate something here. I can see.
Yeah. Now, you want to instigate something? I'll tell you. Say we're not anything like a barbecue cook.
All right.
What does that mean? Tell me what those are. What are those? What are those? The worst of the. Tell me about that. What does that mean?
It's if you know barbecue cooks and barbecue teams and ones that hit and win and doing all this kind of thing, they will never, ever, ever share you. They will give you a recipe to save their lives.
Well, that's my next question. I don't know if the two of you are secretive about your recipes, but what do you think are like the chief ingredients to what you would, start out with for your chili?
Well, the base is meat, of course, onions, tomatoes, and peppers.
What kind of peppers?
There it goes.
There's the secret.
No, it's not a secret. It's that everybody has. It's actually amazing to sit on a judging table for us because they all taste extremely similar with little tweaks in between them. That because everybody uses, there are some spice companies that we all use where we all get, everything is done with powders now. Chili powder and onion powder, garlic powders. So across the board, everybody's using the same powders, just in different proportions.
Yeah, these aren't pre-blended. This isn't like it's got it all in there. You're getting the individual chilies with the garlic and the cumin and the onion, and you're deciding what proportions you want to go into your blend of chili powder.
What kind of peppers?
Ancho, cayenne,
serrano,
jalapeno, hatch green, you name it.
And since Brett told me I could do this, and I'm gonna do this anyway. We're gonna do like shameless plug here, okay?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the Cassie Chili mix.
Oh, you got a box and it has the spices in it?
It's what it is we have a supermarket chain here in Texas called HEB, and HEB has partnered with us, and they, through a packer, developed a chili mix for sale in their stores here in Texas. And so we get a little bit for this to go to charity for their little boxes. So it's a pre-blend. What we do, and talking to y'all now, you'll appreciate this terminology. Spice blends for us are called dumps. So everybody has a 1 dump, 2 dump, 3 dump recipe.
Oh, I'm getting hungrier and hungrier.
Well, Julie, at least you're the only one on this crew that we listened to your Halloween 3 bowls of chili and 6 pounds of candy broadcast.
Yeah.
You're the only one who actually makes their own chili. I mean, going to Astro Burger or dumping it out of a can. I mean, come on, guys.
Look,
come on.
That's the real controversy here.
Thank you. Hey, Brett and Tom, do you see that?
I
feel like $1 million right now.
It seems like 2 people from the show are going to Terlingua now. Chili Queen. Got the Chili Queen now.
Yeah, Julie, I just want to know, what's the deal with the blender? I mean, that might be a new secret.
I need a food processor, Mike. I need a food processor. I have a tiny apartment. I wouldn't know where to put it, but I do need one. I like pureed like things.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah. I like a soup. I like a soupier chili. I like a little bit more of a soup than a stew.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of Cincinnati chili?
Oh, the Texans say that's blasphemy is what that is.
It's not chili?
They say that there's all these things in Cincinnati chili that aren't supposed to be there, like chocolate and clove. Now, people do love that chili. I have cooked it and served it to the public, and they've eaten every single drop of it out of the pot.
It has its place.
But not in Terlingua.
But any card carrying Texas chili maker is not going to be making anything similar to Cincinnati.
Not in Terlingua.
Exactly. What are you going to show up in Terlingua and throw a Snickers bar into your chili?
Hey, it's been done before.
A pumpkin spice latte, a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
You'll end up in the mines if you do that.
Have there been chili? Yeah. They'll walk into the mines. Chili jail.
Like there will be
they
blood.
Call it. They call it Terlingua chili jail. Now, chili is a relatively messy food, and there have been chili mishaps, I'm sure. And there's one picture in particular. Of course, everybody knows Jack Nicholson, and there's a famous picture of him courtside spilling chili on himself. Like, what would you do to advise Jack Nicholson with this very real photo of Jack Nicholson like that was.
Well, I just
from
love
a
the
few
fact that
years ago.
it looks like it's Tupperware. It looks like he might have brought that from home instead of buying it at the concession stand.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
How would you advise? How would you navigate this situation? You're courtside at a Lakers game, and you spill chili on your cords.
I think I'd scrape it back into the bowl and give it a quick sniff and see what you think. And
okay,
I'm just looking at the old guy sitting next to him that's flipping somebody off. So I mean,
So when you see that, and how do you get chili out of garments?
Oh, it's a badge of honor. You just carry it around with you for life at that point.
So you don't. That's the answer.
Okay.
Not that day.
That's why we always laugh when people show up at a chili cook-off to either judge or taste, and they're wearing a white shirt. It's like, okay,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
it's like
notes.
you're one brave individual. But it is a badge of honor. Like if you go, it's kind of like if you go home, if you tell your wife that you went to a chili cook-off and you go home without a chili stain on your shirt, then she starts scratching her head going, yeah, I
Right.
see.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's been getting something hot and spicy, all right.
Now, Tom, right along the lines of that Jack Nicholson picture, one of the more famous scenes is from The Office. Do you remember when Kevin cooked his famous chili and brought it to the office?
Sure.
That's
the whole thing got
dumped on the ground, on the carpet,
Yeah.
and scraped back up into the pot. So you know.
I actually tried to book Brian Baumgartner on this episode and got a no. Got a hard no.
What are you, Brett? Brett, why didn't you ask us first? What are you doing?
Sorry.
Tom,
I don't want Brian Baumgartner on
we
our
don't want
show.
Brian Baumgartner on.
Well, good news. He doesn't want to be on the show. So,
Well, good. I want Michael and I want Keith.
yeah, no, we definitely got
What
the better
is-
end of the deal here.
Best and worst. What is describe the absolute worst chili from somebody who should have known better that you've eaten?
Ooh,
Gosh.
they're definitely. Well, it's really tough when somebody wants you to taste their chili that's a newcomer that might not know better, and they put their heart and soul into it. It might even be a variation of a recipe that they grew up with. They're really proud of it, and you put it in your mouth, and you have to put the poker face on and
Yeah.
do everything you can to keep from spitting it back out again. So there have been all kinds of crazy concoctions that go get people put together.
And what's the best chili you've ever had?
Like the chili that you're still chasing to get, like if only I could get back to
Chili
that.
chasers.
It was a pot I cooked in 1999.
Oh boy. Listen to this. Everybody gather around the campfire.
No, it really seriously. It's.
Tell me, I'm not fooling. I want to hear about
I
it.
don't remember the one. There was one, and it had everything that it was supposed to have. It tasted the way it was supposed to taste, and I've never been able to recreate it. Never.
Okay.
Because you never know. I mean, humidity is a factor, spices are a factor, age is a factor. I mean, it's you don't know.
Yeah,
but I've never been able to make that one again.
We cook these chilies since they're cooked on site from scratch. Everybody's using a camp stove for the most part to cook their chili. And even the way your stove runs is different than the one that's right next to you. When the way the wind's blowing, I mean, it's you could give everybody at the chili cook-off the exact same set of ingredients and tell them to cook it, and you'd end up with chilies that all tasted slightly different from each other.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the best chili you've ever had, you made yourself, is what you're saying.
Oh, everybody always says the best chili they make themselves.
Oh yeah.
No, we have a chili cook that lives here in Virginia. He's kind of up Brett's alley. He's a real gourmand. We call him Mr. Concoction. You can just set him loose in anybody's kitchen. He'll look to see what's there, and he will put together something that's absolutely fantastic.
Loves doing that.
I love that. Yeah, people call me the kitchen alchemist, is what people have started to call me. So
you know,
it sounds like
this guy's name is Rob. You get together, you get along well with Rob. Well, Rob once put together a pot of chili with 29 ingredients in it, but he was drinking the whole time and he didn't write anything down.
He was drinking the whole time.
And he was drinking the whole time, which is a very key, you know.
Is Rob coming to Terlingua? Will Rob be at Terlingua this year?
He's qualified for Terlingua this year.
You guys, you want a roommate? You're gonna You gonna bunk with
Yeah,
him, Brett?
yeah,
I think-
exactly. You're gonna bunk.
I think Rob and I have some stuff to talk about. Yeah.
Got a bunk buddy now.
The alchemist wing.
So he's made crazy pots of chili that are just so fantastically delicious, and then they can never be recreated because he has no idea what he put in the pot. We just see 28 open spice jars sitting on the counter, and okay, all right, we'll never figure this one out.
Yeah, you almost got to send it to the lab and have them break it down for you.
Then there'll be that 0.3% unknown.
Yeah,
Right, like in 23andMe.
Yeah, there should be a DNA service for chili.
Hey,
they should have
would
that.
pay for that. I would pay for that.
I wouldn't. Mike will. I won't.
Okay.
Keith and Mike, which one of you is Felix? Which one of you is Oscar? Like, what kind of how do you two balance each other out?
I'm probably more Oscar.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm definitely more Felix.
You're Felix.
Yeah,
copy that.
Yeah.
I'm an Aries, so
You're cranky. You're cranky, baby.
No.
Oh, okay. Chili's kind of baby food, isn't it? Or can be. Have you ever fed chili to a baby?
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Oh no,
that's a really bad idea.
Well, maybe if their head was spinning, and which that's what I think. Do
little
it then,
exorcist. Get a little exorcist baby going.
Sure. Yeah.
And then finally, I wanted to ask what you think of chili dogs. Do you think that is an acceptable use of chili, or does it make you sick?
No. I'm a chili dog fanatic.
You got to have killer. That's you got by definition. You have to have fantastic chili to put on the chili dog. That's step number one. So yes.
Now, what is something weird? What is something weird or unusual that you put chili on that might surprise someone?
Well, actually, shameless plug. This.
Okay.
Out at Terlingua every year, we have what's called an anything but chili contest, and you have to use the mix. You can do sweet or savory, but you cannot make chili. Okay. And we've had chili fudge, chili pecan peanut brittle. We've had chili drinks made with the mixes. So it's the most unusual thing. I have not a clue.
What if I was to come down to Terlingua with my famous chili milkshake?
Okay.
I'll try it. At least one sip of it.
I wouldn't. I'm the one that made it, and I won't try it.
I'll be nice. I'll keep the poker face on.
But I want to before we head out of here. There is something I want to show you.
Please.
Yes, this is the official trophy for Terlingua for the championship.
Wow.
Wow.
This is,
that's
this
yours?
is
You won that?
This was mine.
Congratulations. Look at that.
Thank
it's
you.
a pepper. It's a pepper that's like a globe, right? It's like a globe on the okay.
We affectionately call it the Big Pickle.
Okay.
The first place trophy actually weighs about 25 pounds, and it's a pure solid bronze cast.
So what you're telling me is leave a little room in my suitcase when I come down to Terlingua this year, right?
Yeah, sure, Brett.
You can't cook unless you qualify.
All right. I'm gonna start working on that.
And you can't qualify.
Well, you can cook. You can cook wings and beans and salsa and pico de gallo without.
Yeah. Now, what is showmanship? Is it like you bring out a giant pot of chili and somebody jumps out singing "Happy Birthday"?
No, it's actually over the years it's evolved. In the beginning, it was people dressing up, doing skits and that kind of stuff.
Ah, that sounds great.
Julie,
what?
We're going to Terlingua.
I know.
It's transformed into like really, I don't want to say, well, they adult games.
What?
Like carnival games and things. And it's, like, I had one show, I did a show one year it was all Willie Nelson themed, and it was pin the tail on the Willie, ring around the Willie, wet Willie. It's
oh my goodness. So Hugh.
And So you play games it's for the crowd, and they come in and participate and play, and you come up with kooky themes and stuff and games and skits, and you do it for 2 hours in the desert.
It's the origins are very vaudevillian. There's still some folks that like to do the kind of vaudeville skits there, and it's there's some great creativity on display there.
Yeah.
And that's yet another thing you have to haul down to the middle of nowhere in the desert is everything that you're going to use to build your set for your show. So
right. Oh, I'll manage it.
We're going to Terlingua. We're going to put on our little chili show.
You'll need to come down.
Okay. Well, Brett's definitely coming down. Are you kidding?
You definitely got one. I'll work on Tom and Julie. I think they seem like they're maybe halfway there, a little over halfway there. So
we like the skits.
Yeah, the skit part. Brett, the only way you can go to Terlingua if you're going to get our blessing is if you dress like Jack Nicholson dressed at that game. You got to wear a black duster and some green cords.
You could enter a one-man show. That would be, I think you could pull that off.
Don't encourage him, fellas.
Yeah, don't encourage.
I love this idea. I think I already got this in my wardrobe, so this will be easy.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and may the chili be with you, I guess.
Yes,
and thanks so much. And Keith, where can we get that your chili that you showed us, your mix?
Chili mix?
Yeah, where can people get that?
It's
HEB.com.
I'm not sure if HEB is still selling it online. They did for a while, and then they took it away. But I can find out.
Yeah. Send me a link where people can get that, and I'll put that in our episode description so people can click on that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good product. It's easy to use, inexpensive, so makes good chili.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
awesome. Not for competition.
Well, this is very exciting. We appreciate you guys taking the time to tell us about all things chili.
Well, we appreciate it being here. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
We'll see you in Terlingua. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? In 2020, I'm sure there were no shortage of answers to those questions for you and for me and for everyone. And so in 2021, if you're looking to take control of your mental health and if you're interested in giving therapy a try, maybe you've never tried therapy before, or maybe you're looking to get back into it, there are many options out there for you. And one of the most convenient and affordable of those options is BetterHelp. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start right away, communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online. There is a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas, and the service is available for clients worldwide. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses, and plus you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. And if it's something that you want to try out, you can go to betterhelp.com/TomandJulie. That's BetterHelp/TomandJulie and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. And we've got a special offer for Double Threat listeners. You can get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp at betterhelp.com/TomandJulie. That's betterhelp.com/TomandJulie.
That was so fun.
Yeah, that was good. And I just want to say one thing to you, Brett. Don't get Brian Baumgartner on this show.
Yeah, Brett, you never asked us about this. This is important. Don't get.
I don't want Brian Baumgartner.
Okay, yeah, that's my bad.
Brian Baumgartner.
I was just reaching for straws for this chili. It was just for this chili episode because I saw that he
Oh, no, that's how it starts.
We understand where you're coming from, but we really don't want Brian Baumgartner on this show.
Yeah, he don't want us. Guess what? We don't want him.
I'm so glad he said no, because if he'd said yes, would have been a bad surprise.
Yeah, I apologize. That was my bad. I was just trying to, I was just trying to cast a wide net for this chili episode.
We're
I saw
not
here.
mad at you.
Brett, and I'm gonna do the chili cook-off episode of Double Threat. It's me, Kevin from The Office.
Isn't he like the one person on Cameo? Didn't I send you that, Tom?
Yeah,
over,
he
like,
made
the
over $1
holiday-
million. He made over $1 million on Cameo this past year.
Yes.
Oh, that's a crock of shit.
There we go. There
I'm
it
sorry,
is.
guys.
There
I'm back.
it
I'm
is.
sorry.
That's all right. You and your big buddy,
There it's showing.
you and your big buddy Brian Baumgartner can go eat chili all day long.
Tom, what did
Down
I
in
say
Terlingua.
when Harris Whittles came on? How was your week? And
He came on, how was your week? And he was talking about, he's like, hey, I'm working on a pilot with Brian Baumgartner from The Office where he works at like an airport, at like the baggage claim in an airport. And you were just like, that's not a good show. No one wants to see that. You just said point blank, no one wants to see that. And that was very funny.
that was true. I was like,
never
oh wait,
forgot.
what two things does America need in their eyes after they have a shitty day?
Sit back and watch Brian Baumgartner make sure your baggage gets
Or lose your baggage, more
lose your
likely.
bag.
Like, hey, America, remember that one time you lost your baggage and you found out when you were in the most obnoxious light ever and you'd been on a plane and you hadn't eaten or brushed your teeth? And what if we recreate that experience weekly with Brian Baumgartner?
Yeah. My guitar, I checked the guitar. It didn't come
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, I don't know what to
I
tell
don't know
you.
what happened to your guitar.
I'll check and see if anybody finds your guitar and we'll see if we can get it returned to you. And then meanwhile, I was like, I got a guitar. And then like
he
see
has like a band or something.
Yeah, like then you cut to him with just with your guitar.
Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
Baumgartner.
I think we just wrote an episode
Well,
on that
poor
show.
if only Harris. Oh, Harris.
We love
Great
Harris.
guy.
Well, I gotta say now, I mean, I already empathized with you, Tom, but now I think I really know how you felt last week. Making you make like an out of character mistake, and then you kind of look back and you're like, what was I thinking? Like, who was that person?
Don't you try to don't get you get no refracted glory from my blunder. First of all, I want to say this. Those two guys looked at that chili photo. They had no idea that was fake. Second thing, I looked at that chili photo. I cannot believe I thought that was real for 1 second. Now that I look at it, like his hand is at a weird angle, like he's holding the spoon.
Hindsight is 2020.
Now I see it though. It looks like the phoniest photo I ever saw in my life. And I'd like to apologize to the chili community. And I will say this, those guys, they were definitely positioning it's like a slobs versus snobs kind of thing with the other chili organization.
And speaking of that other chili organization, I have the president of it, Mike McCloud, in the waiting room right now. Chili Royalty, the International Chili Society. Corporate sponsorships.
That's not Hail to the Chief. Hail to the Chief goes da 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 da.
Yes.
All right. So what do you think? You guys ready to bring on Mike McCloud from the ICS?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
And here he comes.
Hello there, Mike.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you. How are you?
We're okay. Are you in California?
I wish. I am in Middle Tennessee, where it is starting to sleet a little bit and snow a little bit.
Oh dear me.
So with the ICS, what are the duties and functions of the International Chili Society?
Great question. Number one is to basically oversee and sanction contests to make sure that they're adjudicated fairly and that the winners are awarded appropriately. And then they are invited to the World Championship Chili Cook-Off. So it's like,
where's that held?
It's in Myrtle Beach. We just moved it to Myrtle Beach, and it'll be in September of this year in Myrtle Beach.
And what happens in Myrtle Beach? How does that go?
First of all, we all try to stay sober. for the first 24 to 36 hours.
Okay.
And then
how's that work? How's that work out
How's
for
that
you?
going for you?
Last time I was there, it was a challenge. But
glug.
no, we get together and have a lot of fun. We create a whole slate of programming for consumers and for families to come out and enjoy chili and learn about chili, and bring the kids out for fun and adults out for chili sampling. Then we conduct a bunch of contests. We do a lot of divisional contests.
Okay.
There's numerous categories that we.
And what separates there are other chili organizations?
There's at least one other called CASI, which is the Chili Appreciation Society Sanctioning Society, or something like that. I'm not as up to speed on what their process is, but they're a little bit more of a full nonprofit, total fun situation. Not a whole lot of money involved in it. ICS basically created a competition circuit and brought money into play for the cooks and for charity. So there's a little bit more focus on output instead of just having fun.
Okay. So you guys are a little more, their thing is a little more of like a fun thing, and you guys are a little more.
Yeah, we're a little bit more, how should I say, official and I guess competitive, and serious about it. But still, there's a ton of fun. I mean, there's plenty of room for both. Is this pre?
Oh no, we're doing it. This is
right.
it.
This is the podcast, Mike. It doesn't get any better than this. If you're expecting us to ramp up, that's not going to happen. This is the peak. Energy from us.
I just didn't know if the threat process, the threat part, had a different look to it. So
we're not threatening.
There's no threat.
We're not threatening. We are podcasting. I'm podcasting here.
I like it.
Now, our producer Brett is a bit of a whiz in the kitchen. He's more of a glaze and rub guy when it gets down to it.
Yeah. So barbecue, we can talk a lot about barbecue too. I cut my teeth in food sport on barbecue, so I know that rub and glaze stuff pretty well, low and slow.
Yeah, he's more of a fish guy with the glazes and rubs. Although one time I went over his house and he had all the glazes, all the rubs out, and then I don't think he had any fish. I wasn't sure what he was doing in there.
Strategic oversight.
What are you rubbing and glazing in there, buddy?
Yeah, sometimes there's really no end game to it. It's really just about the process. And then
it's the journey, right?
Yeah. It just ends up being about the glaze and rub, and sometimes.
But Mike, how could Brett be involved in your chili competition as a cook or as a judge or as an enthusiast? What can we find a place for a young gourmand in your world?
All the above. He could be trained to become a certified chili judge.
Trained?
Yeah,
I like this.
What does that involve?
We've got real classes. It involves about 2 to 3 hours of understanding and listening and talking about chili and flavors and spices and texture. And then you actually take an oath to uphold the great chili standards.
Which is what?
And
what is that? Wait, hold on. What is in the oath?
Well, yeah, there's an actual oath.
Can you recite the oath?
You have to give your social? Okay.
You can't do it off the top of your head? You can't do the oath?
I don't teach the class that much. So
I pledge allegiance.
Yeah, to chili.
To the chili.
to ICS.
to no beans in chili.
What is with you guys and beans? How did beans hurt you?
Well, let me save the day for you. Number one, there are no bean chili categories, and then there are bean categories. So our presenting sponsor, Bush's Beans, wouldn't be involved if we didn't have some beans. But yeah, I think it's a good question. It goes back to the history of chili. Beans chili was basically a out west kind of dish, right? The cowboys would create it and whip it up, and they didn't have access to beans. So traditional chili was usually cubed beef of some sort, or pork, and like in chili verde. So that's why the long tradition of no bean chili is what a lot of truists will speak to. And of course, as we've evolved as a society and added all kinds of things to chili, we've had to evolve at ICS too. We have a home style division, which Brett, you could certainly cook in there. It's wide open. You can cook anything you want as long as it somewhat resembles chili.
It's for the amateurs, is what you're saying. For the
That's correct.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah,
Amateur is Latin for love of the thing.
Well, then, as long as you love it, you're good.
Now, when it comes down to the chili that you like, what would that be? Is it a simple no bean chili, or can you appreciate the beans, or do you like the crazy? What is it? Is it a Cincinnati chili that has everything thrown in it? Where do you stand on the chili?
I reacted
spectrum?
when Tom said Cincinnati chili.
Yeah,
physically,
I like Cincinnati chili on spaghetti. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But
is it chili, Mike? Is it chili?
I think it's chili.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. It would go well in our open category. It wouldn't work in our traditional red or chili verde.
Understood.
But it would go in the home style, or it would go in the open very well. My favorite chili is actually a concoction that one of my ex-wives used to create for me. And it basically got the beans, it's got beef, it's got cornbread and honey butter in it. So, and lots of cheese.
Let me ask you a question about Bush's baked beans. Did they ever bring that dog to the competition?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you get to pet him?
Yep, you sure do. You get a picture taken with him too.
Oh my God. Because I will say this, Julie, one of Julie's one of the white whale in Julie's life is not a white whale, it's a tan dog.
Duke.
She wanted to pet Duke and talk to Bush Baked Beans on Twitter for months.
I spoke to them on the phone.
She spoke to them on the phone.
They said, I would say to my face, but it was on the phone. They said no.
Well, you can pet Duke if you come to the World Championship Chili Cook-Off in Myrtle Beach. I will give you that personal pledge.
Okay.
And we'll make that happen. Make your dreams come true right there.
All right.
And that's September?
September, yes.
Okay.
17, 18, and 19.
Julie, it looks like you need to have some blackout dates on that calendar for this September.
I got my petting fingers ready.
You got to get that petting hand strong. You got 9 months to build up those petting muscles in that petting hand of yours.
I think she could do it.
Duke is waiting.
Mike, tell me about the chili you make. What needs to be in Mike's kitchen to whip up the Mike McCloud, famous Mike McCloud chili?
Well, first of all, I'm not known for my chili.
What are you known for, Mike? What are you known for?
If we ever
what is your legacy?
If we ever create a world microwave championship, I am going to kick
Mike,
A in that.
You have a shirt on that says food. You're using the friggin' microwave like me, like a kitchen dolt like myself.
Do you think Roger Goodell could play great football?
I don't know who that is.
He runs football.
He runs NFL. He's the NFL commissioner.
I understand.
So
you're a connoisseur. You're an appreciator.
Yeah, some of us have to make sure that the game is played correctly.
Yes,
that's where I focus my energies.
Sure. Now, it's one thing that people, chili is a relatively messy food in the scheme of foods.
Lots of ingredients.
And there's that one famous photo of Jack Nicholson spilling chili on his clothes at the Lakers game. Brett, do you have that photo, Brett?
Yeah, I'm going to pull that up now.
Okay. And it's like,
you're going to ask me to dissect this?
No, I just want to know how to get chili out of corduroys.
What would you do? Have you seen this photo before?
I have not seen that photo, no.
He spilled chili on his pants courtside at a Laker game. What would you do if you were in that situation? How would you navigate this?
I think if I were him, I would probably start scooping it off my pants and just eat it. right there. I mean,
Mike, that is a great answer.
Just depends on when the last time he washed those pants was, right? Sure. I mean, how many times he's worn those pants.
Sure.
But I'm going to guess that they're clean pants. And I think it would have been an awesome thing if he'd have just started scooping off his knee and just lapped it up.
And then when you get home, what do?
Wash
Throw them away?
No, you can just wash those pants. I think it'd be fine. Chili stains, most chili stains would come out.
Maybe not a Cincinnati chili stain because it's got that friggin' chocolate in it, right?
I don't think chocolate's in it. I think it's
Mike, I hate to correct you. I never thought I'd know some more about chili than you did in one particular instance, but
I'm thinking of three-way chili, but yeah, you might.
No, it is. It's the same thing. It's
They'll
Skyline.
throw chocolate in there.
Yeah, they got chocolate in it.
They do.
I didn't know that.
They do.
As a flavor, as a spice, or what?
Oh yeah, they'll put sometimes straight chocolate in it, in low amounts, or they also via like a mole will get chocolate in there that way.
Via a mole.
Nice.
What is the weirdest chili that you found yourself liking that you've come across, Mike?
Chili verde. When I look at a bowl of green, when I first looked at a bowl of green chili, I thought this is probably too healthy for me. I don't think I'm going to like it. I didn't know what it was going to taste like. It looked like someone had already eaten it. So I ate it, and it was really good.
So you thought it was a bowl of barf, possibly, when you saw it, is what you're saying.
One way to look at it.
You say, look, I get paid the big bucks. I got to take that leap.
I thought it was used chili. So
used chili. Yeah.
Visage.
Yes. 50% off.
Yeah. Legacy chili, maybe.
What about these Texans? What about these Texas people? What are they? What's their deal that they think they're the only
their
ones
chili
who
don't
get it?
stink?
What do you
they
think
their
about
chili
that?
Don't
They
stink.
think that. What do you think of that, Mike? These Texans? Do you mess with Texas?
I think they're very proud of it. Just like they are their barbecue. They have a way of doing things, and it's the cowboy way.
Well, I know they got that championship down in Terlingua every year, right? That Terlingua championship. I was looking online. It says I think anybody can sign up to be a judge for Terlingua. So considering that versus your kind of like the test you've got to take. I mean, does that speak to you're the official and they're kind of just for fun, or what do you think?
It's kind of an odd question, because it's like it would be like saying that NFL. Well, I guess NFL would be better than XFL, wouldn't it? You remember the XFL?
Oh yeah,
league.
Do I ever?
Tom lost his shirt betting on those teams.
I lost $130,000 on a Hitmen game.
Oh no.
Betting. No, I'm making that up. I would not bet on the XFL.
Are you saying they're Little League and you're the Yankees? Is this what's happening?
I am not saying that.
No,
I have great respect for Cassie and Tolbert and Terlingua chili. They do it a lot like the traditional red in our world, and they just have their own fiefdom. It's kind of like Texas is where we're going to do it. It's where we're going to be, and we're going to go out to this great property out in the middle of nowhere and have a big time. It's probably as close to a Burning Man strategy for chili as anything.
Burning mouth.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
oh my!
I think
goodness.
you just came up with a great T-shirt for them.
Oh,
if they don't
mouth.
use it, if they don't use it, we might steal that.
Yeah,
Mike, I know you got money. You got to pay me. You got to pay me for that one, Mike.
How about royalties? Can we strike a deal on royalties?
We'll strike a deal. We'll talk.
Okay.
We've got access to a company called TeePublic. They'll print literally anything on a shirt.
Yeah.
I tell you, we'll get a burning mouth shirts going. Everybody is going to get rich.
Have you ever been to Terlingua?
I haven't.
Have you ever been? Have you ever considered going, but like in disguise?
I think it'd be hard for me to do that, but I think I will go one day.
Sure.
Just to give you a little short history about my connection to chili. Back in 2008, 2009, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I was big into barbecue. I was a marketing director, sort of, for the Kansas City Barbecue Society, and I wanted to jump into chili and learn about it. And so I went to ICS and started learning about chili. And really, in a short span of time, I got very serious about it and tried to purchase ICS back in 08 and 09. And that just didn't pan out. The owners at the time, Dave and Carol Hancock, who had worked closely with Carol Shelby being the creator, him and his friends of ICS.
Didn't he create the Mustang?
Yes, he's a racing legend that is behind the Shelby Cobra. And so, yeah, he and his friends had a thing for chili. And they just decided to get together and throw a competition, see whose chili was the best. And from that came all the derivatives of the Chili Society. So, but anyway, I was not able to purchase ICS in 08, 09. And so I stepped away from it and went down the path of creating the World Food Championships in 2010. And our first event was in 2012. So I kind of dipped my toes in the chili water.
That is, I don't want to pick.
God,
I'm gonna strike that image from my mind.
Mike!
It
turned green, and thus, Chili Verde was great.
Yes,
I'm going to get crucified with that one. So, I dipped. I played around with chili. I didn't dip anything in it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
and step back, went a different direction. And then in 2020, last year, right before COVID hit, we got an opportunity to acquire ICS. So we've spent the last year, literally just almost exactly a year, getting up to speed and making some tweaks and making some additions and getting ready for the next championship. And that we were going to try to do it in April of this year, but we've pushed it back to September just to try to have a safer environment, COVID wise.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Absolutely.
I'll see you September. I'll be the one chasing Duke around with a big butterfly net.
I'll make sure that the Bushes folks are ready for you.
You know what? Don't tell them I'm coming.
No, I'm going to say this.
Yeah,
Mike,
that'll be. They've already asked me to.
Do you have a restraining? Do you have a restraining
No, I
order
don't.
on your?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. But I think
Yeah.
it would be better if you didn't tell them.
Okay, got it. All right, it's our secret.
yes, thank you, Mike.
Just
We
like
appreciate it.
just like the recipe
Yeah.
for Bush's baked beans. He ain't saying nothing, and then he goes.
That's exactly right.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well,
All right, Mike. Thank you so much for joining us, and
I enjoyed it.
may the chili be with you.
May the
Yes.
chili force be with you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Y'all take care.
Bye.
They're classy. These chili guys. They threw little pokes at the other organization.
I'll tell you what, you go down to Terlingua and get some drinks in these guys. I think that's when we're going to see the real.
You don't want to tell me about ICE. This chili company, they do their thing. They don't even know there's chocolate in chili in Cincinnati. You tell me you go and see the chili. They don't know chili.
Someone comes around with peyote.
Yeah. That's what we should have asked them. If there's like,
I didn't want to because when they mentioned that alchemist who's like, that guy put 29 ingredients, and I was like, okay. And he was drunk. There was something else going on there.
I wonder, there clearly must be weed chili, right? How can there not
That
be?
makes me, that's nauseating.
Yeah, I got just 8 recipes popped up immediately when you
of course.
Google that.
You'd almost think people like being high all the time. Now these chili organizations are something else. I will say this.
I really got a sense of the contrast between those two organizations.
Yes, there is a definite. Well, I'll say they had the one saving grace for me so far is that everybody saw that photo and they were just like, nobody was just like, that photo's fake. So I feel a little bit better about this, that if these chili experts, these are the commissioners of chili commissions, could not tell that chili photo of Jack Nicholson was fake.
Yeah, let's get some Photoshop experts on, and then we'll see what they say. I mean, let's not. I really do want to put this to bed.
No, next week, Photoshop. Great idea.
Yeah, because Tom, I brought these guests on to like make you feel better about Chili, and I feel like maybe you had like a secret agenda this whole time.
You're doing a great job, Brett.
I'm going to say this. Everybody's getting what they want. It's like the Wizard of Oz up in here. Brett goes to Terlingua.
It's like the Wizard of Oz up in this piece.
It is. It's like the Wizard of Oz up in this piece. Brett goes to Terlingua. Julie goes and pets Duke. Tom finds out that nobody else thought that picture was fake.
And I mean, if anybody would know, they would know. I mean, the world's foremost Chili experts and didn't even flinch.
Nobody was like, well, the angle that chili spilled at is clearly something's. That's not natural. That's a fake photo. Meanwhile, all I look at now, I see it's the fakest thing I ever saw in my life.
That guy was into sports, huh?
Yeah. He liked his chili and he likes his sports. You mentioned Roger Goodell.
Did you like when I was like, this is not the guy that invented the Mustang?
Oh, yeah. I liked when you suddenly got a real gearhead over here talking cars. Suddenly, you invented the Mustang, right? I was like, you grabbed it,
flawless.
No, that was well played. I was like, I didn't have it in me to do that.
There was a lot going on in that interview. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, but we appreciate
our guests. We love that you came on the show. Thank you so much, Mike McCloud, as well as Keith and Mike. And then now we have our final guest, and I am so excited about this person, Brett, who is he's excellent at his job. Can we say that, Tom? He's excellent at his job.
Oh, goes without saying. And sure, maybe
there's a big Brian Bumgarner size asterisk on that, but for the most part, good at my job.
He was looking for guests from the chili culture, and he knew nothing about that going into it. And finally, he told me he entered the phrase "chili murder" into Google, and he came up with this guest who we're about to meet in a moment, and she writes
go ahead. Murder mysteries that are set at chili cook-offs. She writes a lot of books. Her name is Kylie Logan, but she has a series, so far it's a trilogy of murder mysteries set in chili cook-offs. We got Chili Con Carnage, Death by Devil's Breath, and Revenge of the Chili Queens.
I'm just going to say this right now. I'm going to mention during this that it's not a trilogy, it's a chilogy, and I don't want anybody stealing that from me.
No problem.
I'm going to say it, and if Brett, if you say chilogy, I'm going to go to Cameo. I'm going to get Brian Baumgartner to record a death threat to you.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, Brett.
I'm gonna kill you. This is Kevin from the office. And I'm going to strangle you in your sleep.
And bringing Kylie on now.
Hello, Kylie Logan. We are here with author Kylie Logan.
Hi there.
Of the chili-based trilogy.
Or some might say chilogy.
Chilogy? Okay, got it.
Okay, wait. Oh, good. You got it. You good.
You like that, Kylie? It took you a minute, but you do like it.
Yeah. It's a chilogy.
It is a chilogy. And it's quite peppery.
Yes.
Known as the Chili Cook-Off Mystery Series. And Kylie, this is a very niche area that you've got for yourself. How did you come upon this this world of murder and chili cook-offs together? What made you decide to combine them?
Because I made the incredible mistake at one point as I was talking to my agent of telling her that my husband had won a chili cook-off. And agents being agents and always thinking sales, She said, "Oh, chili cook-off! What a great idea! Write a chili cook-off book." So that's how that started.
And here you are, 3 books later, and you're in the chili. You're in a chili. What is that? Like the chili prison? Chili prison.
Yeah, it's like
chili
Dick
prison.
That's all. That's
Yeah.
it. They're like, oh, I'm the chili murder person. I can't do, something set at a pie eating contest or.
Oh, I do lots of other things. So yes, I could.
Okay.
But that's
okay.
Sure.
Okay. Good.
Because Dick Francis was the horse racing mystery author.
Yes. Well, he sort of cornered the market on horse racing. But I've done antique buttons.
Okay.
I'm currently writing a mystery series about cadaver dogs, which is kind of cool.
That's exciting.
I've done all kinds of things. So chili isn't my only niche.
Sure, but you are definitely top of the pyramid in terms of chili-based mystery.
Well, I must be, because I think I'm the only one.
Sure. Well, I didn't say it was a huge pyramid. You're at the top of it, though.
Yes, absolutely.
So what does it take to tell a story in the world of the chili cook-off community?
Boy, that's a hard question. It's like telling a story. It's like telling any story. For me, because I'm killing people, which I enjoy doing,
Sure.
I've got to have that heart of the story, the mystery. But then depending on where that mystery is set, you've got to bring that world in. So, okay, here's a little mystery. Now make it relevant to chili cook-offs. Who would want to kill who at a chili cook-off? How does a chili cook-off work? What kind of people would attend a chili cook-off? So it's a lot of research, but I enjoy doing that. It's a lot of fun.
Now, is in your fiction, is there a constant? Do you have the same detective, the same protagonist running through the chili?
In these
mystery?
3 books, yes.
There's a chili Poirot.
Chili Poirot, that'd be a good name for chili, wouldn't it? Chili Poirot.
Yeah.
Each bowl could come with a little mustache.
Kylie, write this down.
Whatever, we're going to do this. The heroine in these 3 books, her name is Maxie Pierce. And these are what's called cozy mysteries. A cozy mystery is sort of a warm and fuzzy mystery. There's no graphic violence. There's no strong language, blah, 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 blah. So they're sort of the kinds of mysteries you can read and feel good about it. The bad guy gets his in the end. But one of the things they all have in common is that they have an amateur sleuth. So it's not Poirot, who's a detective and gets paid for what he does. There's no cop as your main character. There's no lawyer as your main character. Maxie works at what's called the Chili Showdown. It's a traveling chili show. Her dad owns the spice booth, and Dad is missing as the first book opens. So she has to take over, she and her sister. And what Maxie's main duty is at the showdown is she wears a gigantic chili costume and dances around to draw people in. So
When you say, hold on,
another niche.
Kylie, please hold on one moment. When you say chili costume, is she dressed up like a can of chili?
Like a chili, like a giant
like a
red
pepper.
chili. Like a pepper. Like
Got
a
it.
chili pepper in
Got it.
stilettos and fishnet stockings. Yes.
Hubba.
So she has this impediment, and she's kind of a bit of a spectacle, but she is unearthing a mystery that a sense of right and wrong, helping find her father drives her to go deeper into this. And I say this because I'm a fan of mystery. I worked on a mystery television program called Monk that was on.
I love that show.
Well, I wrote 25 or co-wrote 25 episodes of that show.
Well,
and
thank you for making my Friday evenings so many times. Because
well, you're sweet
Kylie,
to say
he worked
that.
he worked on every episode. It was like 8 years or something.
8 years. I was there from the pilot to
Tom
the final
was there
episode.
the whole time. If you like Monk, Tom had his hands in that chili.
Well, thank you.
That was my chili. Yes. So as a fellow mystery enthusiast, I everything you're saying, I see what you're saying, and I think it sounds fantastic that you take that you're working in that kind of, it's like you said, light and fuzzy, and it's fun, and it's not gruesome, but there's stakes and consequence, and it's thrilling.
Well, because you have an amateur detective, there has to be something at stake, because otherwise, it's not real life anyway. But it's not like any of us would think to wake up in the morning and say, gee, I think I'll go solve a murder. Mm-hmm. There has to be a reason for the detective to get involved in each of the cases.
Sure.
So, there have to be some stakes, like steak chili.
Mm-hmm.
There we go, Kylie. We're back in the brainstorm tent.
We're just getting the bad chili puns out of the way.
Yes.
And we'll get the good ones out of the way, too.
I gotta say too, Kylie, I'm a chapter into Chili Con Carnage right now on my Kindle, and I'm loving it so far, having a blast. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it to our listeners.
Thank you. They're silly. They're silly,
They're
as
great.
you can tell from the title Chili Con Carnage.
Chili Con Carnage is the best title of anything I've ever heard, Kylie.
Well, thank you.
You mustn't dismiss that. That is outstanding.
I'm pretty proud of some of my titles.
You should be. And how many books have you written in total?
I have written 65 books.
Wow.
See, this is how it's done.
Under a whole bunch of names. I'm like a whole bunch of people.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
So right now I'm still Kylie Logan. Kylie writes the Cadaver Dog books. I am also, who am I? I am Lucy Ness. Lucy Ness writes a series about a haunted women's club. So those are light and funny ghosty stories. And then in August, I'm going to be Mimi Granger. Mimi has a series of mysteries set at a romance bookstore.
Ha cha 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 cha.
How fun is that? And the bookstore is called Love Under the Covers.
Meow, meow, meow. Kylie, may I ask you a question?
Ask me.
Tell me about the Chili Queens.
The Chili Queens, that's a really interesting, social kind of thing. I have some notes here. According to some people, the Chili Queens started out in like the 1880s, but other people say it was really older than that, like the 1860s. And what would happen is ladies in San Antonio, mostly Mexican women, would cook up batches of chili at home, take them to the plazas, the public plazas in the evening, start mesquite fires, which would smell wonderful, and cook, reheat their chili, and people would come and get takeaway or stay there and eat chili. And what this turned into, which is sounding so lovely in these times we can't go anywhere, it turned into the social scene. Thousands of people would go to these things every evening. There'd be musicians, there'd be troops of actors, there would be jugglers, and it would go all night, and people would meet and talk and dance and drink beer and eat chili, and it sounds fabulous, doesn't it? It lasted till about the 1930s, when someone who thought they knew something decided it was unsanitary to eat that way. And that's when the Chili Queens closed down. But I don't know. Wouldn't it be cool to go back in a time machine and try some of that chili?
Yes, and kill Hitler while you were at it. Because the Chili Queens are the star of the third book in the
third book
trilogy.
Is Revenge of the Chili Queens. Yeah.
Now, if I was going to kill Hitler, I would kill him with chili.
Mm-hmm.
He'd start eating it, and then suddenly he'd get a little spoonful, and there'd be a little bomb on it.
That's
right?
It wouldn't be poisoned.
No, I'd go with a tiny little bomb. It would be like Valkyrie, that movie Valkyrie. If they tried to put the bomb under the desk in that movie, I'd put it right in the chili.
Kylie, has anyone ever died from poison chili in any of these novels?
Oh, yes, of course they do. How else? I guess. Yes.
Now, does that make you? Yes.
Sorry.
Come on, guys.
And I don't want to ruin.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a step behind.
What, we're not going to ruin the how or the who in any of your chili mysteries.
No one's chopped up and used as chili, though, right?
No. That would not be cozy mystery.
I was going to say that's not a terribly cozy experience.
No, and I don't know. We're not talking about that.
We're not going to do
that. No, I was going to say that would veer outside of the cozy
genre.
Just like, and you ate the victim.
Oh
no.
Yeah, those are the ones you can't go back from.
Kylie, would you do us the kindness of perhaps reading a passage from one of your books?
Well, speaking of someone dying from chili, I did my homework, and I found this passage from the second book, which was called Death by Devil's Breath. And I did a little editing, so I hope it makes sense because it's hard to take things out of context. But in this scene, Maxie Pierce, who's the main character, she is not in her chili costume at the time. She is standing with Nick. Nick is the head of security for the Chili Showdown, and they are watching the guest judges. They're in Las Vegas, and they're watching the guest judges judge Devil's Breath chili. So here's what happens. They're not actually going to eat that stuff, are they? Since I knew Nick was a Philistine when it came to chili, I tried to be understanding. That didn't mean I didn't throw a look over my shoulder when he came up behind me. Spicy is what chili is all about. The only thing spicy is good for is burning your lips and scalding your insides. Like I could miss an opportunity as good as that. I looked up into Nick's eyes. Even all the neon in Vegas couldn't compete with the vivid blue. What's wrong with burning lips? I asked him. He looked down at me. It all depends if you're talking a little burning or too much. I leaned back just a little. Just a hair's breadth closer to his chest. Is there such a thing as too much? It was the first I realized his gaze had moved up to the stage where the great Osborne had just swallowed his first spoonful of Brother William's brew, and his lips puckered and the tips of his ears turned red. Nick laughed. Guess that's my answer. And here I thought we were talking about something other than chili. I crossed my arms over my chest and turned my attention back to the contest, watching as Hermosa swallowed a taste of chili, coughed, and pounded her chest. Yancey was next. He popped a spoonful of chili in his mouth, let it sit on his tongue for a couple seconds, swallowed, and smiled. Next up, Reverend Love. And it seemed she was not one to take chances. She put a tiny bit of chili on the tip of her spoon and carefully touched it to her lips. As soon as she was done writing a few comments on the score sheet, she took a drink of water. Amateur, I grumbled. Water doesn't help. So, what, now you're a chemist? This time I didn't dignify Nick's question with so much as a glance. You don't have to be a chemist to know spices. The capsaicin in peppers is what's hot, and when you taste it, then drink water, all the water does is spread the hotness around your mouth. So now you know about hot lips and hot mouths? This time I wasn't going to rise to the bait, but then I was pretty busy watching Dickie, who spooned up a mouthful of chili and called out, "Hey, you guys are wimps. You have to be bold to make it in this town. You have to be daring." And with that, he swallowed down 2 more big gulps of Devil Breath chili. Dickie's cheeks turned fire engine red. His shoulders stiffened. He took another taste. Okay, so the guy was a total jackass, but I had to give him credit. He knew how to handle his devil's breath. And so it went, each judge trying each chili. When it was Dickie's turn again, he didn't miss the opportunity to get in a few digs. "You guys are lightweights," Dickie called out, and took another taste of the chili in front of him. "You think this stuff is hot? You don't know hot." And hot. Another bite, and Dickie sat back in his chair. There's a restaurant here in town that serves only hot food. It's got 3 seating sections. Daring, wild, and downright crazy. He hauled in a breath. And then there's the place where all the chili is free. Dickie pulled a handkerchief out of his pocket and mopped his brow. This place, and the chili is free, and there was a glass of water nearby, and he glugged it down so fast the water dribbled over his chin. All the chili you can eat is free, but his shoulders dropped, his arms fell to his sides. Water is $10 a glass. It was the last thing Dickie said before he fell face down into his bowl of chili, and the last bad joke he ever told.
Well, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's so much fun, and it's you have such a good voice for all these characters, and that's awesome. Now, there's chili is a relatively messy food in the scheme of all foods, and there's I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of Jack Nicholson when he spilled chili on his pants at a Laker game. Brett, do you have that picture?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think of that, Kylie?
What I think is hilarious is he brought his own chili. It's in Tupperware.
Yeah.
He couldn't afford a hot dog up at the stand.
Yeah, I guess he liked his own chili.
He must.
What would you do if you were in that situation? How would you navigate that mess?
Well, I have 2 dogs, so if I was home, I wouldn't have to worry about it because that would get cleaned up.
Sure.
I think you just, you brush it off and
you just
go
hope
on.
that you
Depends
just hope,
where you are
and you just hope that Kobe Bryant doesn't slip in the chili as he runs down the court.
Well, there's that. Yes. Oh,
Kylie,
yeah.
Kylie, I'm looking at your bio, and you have an Airedale and a Jack Russell.
Not anymore. Now we have an Airedale and a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was adopting a Westie, little white.
Yeah, it's a little white.
Think Scotty, but it's white. I found her online, and she was in prison. She's a prison-trained dog. So I thought I was getting this little Westie, and we drove 3 hours to the prison to pick her up. And a lady was standing outside the prison with this white dog taller than my dining room table. And my husband said, that's not a Westie. And it's not, but she's wonderful. And so that's who we're living with currently. So
yes, how many pounds is that dog? How big are we talking?
She's only about 65. She has very long legs, and she sheds like mad. I just finished vacuuming again. Horrible shedding. The Airedale is a show dog, which always amuses me because he's like the biggest goof on earth. But he's a good boy.
Now, what is one of the don'ts for you in terms of how you solve a mystery, Kylie? Like, people, because there's always the ice bullet is considered, like, what are the things that are considered just like out of your comfort zone or
I don't know about out of comfort zone, but you get to the things you can't allow because they're stupid, like coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
I will not mention the name of the masterpiece mystery I watched the other day, but they explained away a murder because, oh God, it's such a long story. There was a serial killer, but the person who found the first body ended up killing someone down the road. Mm-hmm. And their explanation was seeing a body must have made him feel like murdering someone.
Yeah, that would...
Really? This is masterpiece mystery, guys. Get it together.
There is nothing more frustrating than when you spend your time reading or watching a mystery and then they just blow out, the ending just bombs out, and you're like, come on, that was because the whole thing's a waste of your time.
Absolutely. And something like this is insulting to the viewer. Really, do you think we're dumb enough to just accept that? So those kinds of things drive me crazy. And I hope I never do that.
Sure. What's one you're the most proud of? You don't even have to say what book it's from or who it happens to, so you don't spoil any book. Like, mechanically, what is a solution for murder that you are the most proud of that you've done?
I'll word it in a way. It's one of the Cadaver Dog books, and the dead person isn't who you think it is. Okay. So that was kind of fun and fun to do. I had never done anything like that before.
And Kylie, are we foolish in keeping our hopes up for a 4th Chili book?
I do not think there will be a 4th Chili book. I think I've said pretty much all there is about death and chili that I can say.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm doing some other things, so that's kind of keeping me pretty busy.
Sure. Well, and our producer Brett is going actually to Terlingua this year, where they do the one chili judging thing. Maybe he'll come across some stories that can inspire a 4th one.
You're open to it, right, Kylie?
Oh, sure. Always.
Yeah, I'll try to I'll try to get some anecdotes for you, Kylie, and I'll pass them along because those are some real chili heads out there. I'm sure they've got some tales to tell. Because I know that I'm pretty sure I'm going to mow through this trilogy and would love to hold out hope for a fourth at some point.
Sure.
And I've been invited to Myrtle Beach, but I'm not going to go.
Which is the other chili competition, the other big chili competition.
Yeah.
Do you like beans in your chili, Kylie?
My husband is the chili maker around here, and he usually puts beans in, but he makes one called Texas Red that is pretty much brisket and lard and tomatoes, and dang, it's good.
Yeah.
But I like beans, so and I know there's a big beans versus no beans in the chili community, but I like beans. So
there's an expression apparently that if you put beans in your chili, you don't know beans about chili.
Well, that's me then. What can I say?
Hey, I'm the same way, Kylie.
I say
I have chili that is just beans.
You get the chili, you make it the way you want. I had chili here. My lady pal made this chili with the sweet potatoes, and it was so good.
Oh, anything with sweet potatoes
3 days of chili.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it was
What
so
about
good.
putting chili on something, Kylie, like a hot dog or a baked potato as like a condiment? What do you think of that?
My husband loves it on hot dogs. I can't even watch him while he eats that. And those people in Cincinnati, what do? They put it on spaghetti.
They put it on spaghetti.
No.
Kylie, you're having a meltdown just thinking about that.
I am.
Sounds like you're going to murder somebody.
I could.
We just found
driven mad.
We found the motive for a fourth book. Somebody put chili on spaghetti.
That's right. Just
no jury would convict them. No jury would convict them. That murderer.
Maxie is gonna start. Honestly, forget about Cozy. Take out the chainsaw, right, Kylie?
Yeah. Just seeing that chili on the spaghetti will trigger something in me, and I will be forced to murder. Yes.
Now we're seeing the rage that you get into when you need to figure out how the murderer gets all ramped up to do some killing.
It was the spaghetti, the pasta.
Yes. And I do it again.
Kylie, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you and how can people buy your books?
Well, back in the day, I'd say bookstores everywhere, those that are still open. Obviously, any online bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Don't forget your local independent bookstores. You can probably order online from them too. And they are wonderful, fabulous people, and we'll be happy to help you order anything you want.
Yeah, and I'll put some links to our listeners in the episode notes. I did grab mine on Kindle just because I needed it fast, but I think definitely preferable to buy this from your local bookstore. So I'll put some links in the show notes where you can support some local bookstores. But it's
KylieLogan.com, and there is a cat on your page. I thought you were. Do you like cats, or are you just a dog person, Kylie?
Well, we're going to back up a little bit. That webpage will be no more as of midnight tomorrow night.
Oh my goodness!
I know. I have a new webpage now. Tell the world. It's mystery-book-series.com. And the reason I have a new webpage, it incorporates all my pen names in one place because I'm way too many people to have individual pages for each person I am. Then there's the old multiple personality made me do a chili story. Yeah.
And that link again is
mystery-book-series.com.
Okay. So everybody can go there and check out all the different nom de plumes that you've got going.
Thank you. It's great meeting you all.
Okay.
Bye, Kylie.
You take care.
Again.
Thanks, Kylie.
All of these chili experts, every single one of them looked at that picture and nobody said, that's fake. I feel better now.
Good. Good.
And Brett, you've got your Terlingua adventure ahead of you. Julie, you're going to Myrtle Beach.
I'm not going to Myrtle Beach. I told Kylie that. You know I'm not going to Myrtle Beach, Tom.
I know you're going to go down there.
I'm more likely to go to
You'll run into Duke at the airport. You'll be like one of those things when you get to the airport when you're going to an event and you see other people going to the event. You're like, you'll be at baggage claim and you'll see Duke.
He'll be wearing a lammy.
Are you looking for the dog?
Oh, Brian Baumgartner.
Are you looking for Duke, the baked bean dog?
Brian.
I'd like to send a message out to Brian Baumgartner. You weren't missed. You weren't missed
Never
on this
mind.
episode. So I guess just have fun rolling around in your cameo millions because you weren't missed on Double Threat this week.
They love the tough talk from Brett. Brian Baumgartner slams the door hard in Brett's face. He goes, yeah, I didn't want you anyway.
That's right. I'm changing the narrative. Sure, I asked you, and sure, I probably, if I read the email now that I wrote you, I'd be very embarrassed by what I said. But
don't read it.
In retrospect, I didn't want you anyway. I'm glad it didn't work out. And
dear sir, you are my favorite actor. Please be on a podcast I produce.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Chili Appreciation Society International just followed me on Twitter.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
You're coming to
Here we
Terlingua.
go. I'm not coming to Terlingua. I don't know how to break it to you, Brett. There isn't enough peyote in the world.
I thought he got you on those skits. I thought the skits
well,
sold
that's true. If they can put me up, I have a feeling there's not great air conditioning. I don't know if there's like a
it's RVs and tents out there.
Yeah, I feel like it might not be a good fit.
I think the three of us go to Terlingua. We end up caught up in some sort of chili-based midsummer. I'll be stuck in a giant chili pepper costume,
in a
paralyzed in a fire.
I'll be the first one that like jumps off the. It'll be like 20 minutes into the movie and it'll be like splat.
I think I'm definitely I think I'm definitely the May Queen. I think they make me there.
Yes,
they make me
of course
there.
you are. With the flowers and everything, that's totally you.
I wish I had a chance to see that in the theater twice because the second time I saw it, I would have gone with that old man. I would have just gone and made sound effects when that old man jumped off the thing. It's boing. And I would go and boing. Like at a boing in there, they'd be like, ain't no boing.
We could do a commentary. We could do a sound effect commentary track.
Yeah. Ooh. Like when he lands, I'd go like, ooh, that hurt.
Ew. When someone comes over and looks at him. Ew.
Yeah. I don't feel so good. Watch that last step. Careful in that last step. It's a doozy.
Ooh. He goes, remember me.
Whoa.
Well, look, I'm going, and I'm going to be there on a Saturday, so I guess I'll.
You're definitely doing the show from there.
Yeah, I'll be recording from Terlingua.
Yeah, we'll be in our homes. You're going to be.
Yeah, well,
you'll be
also
in
be like
Terlingua.
Brett with headphones, not connected to anything, like standing in front of a cactus, like being like, all right, guys, like it's like two cactuses he thinks are Julie and Tom.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, guys, like we got a great show. Like,
Clearly, Brett's chili got spiked. Like they spike Brett with some chili. He'd go down there and they'd see him. They'd be like, "Oh, here comes some fancy pants California guy."
I like that California and New York are both represented in this show with those guys.
Yeah, and then Brett, they'd be like, "Oh, try this chili, Brett," and then he tries it, and then next thing you know, he's doing an episode of Double Threat with two cactus.
Just showing them clips on my phone.
Yeah,
exactly. But your phone is a brick or like a. It's like or it's a gecko. Yeah. It's like you're holding up a lizard, being like, "Look at this clip."
Yeah.
So Alec Baldwin was in the news this week.
Yeah, we're so excited. We got our special guest Brian Baumgartner here. It's just a scorpion stinging Brett over and over.
Finally, you guys are being nice to me about Brian Baumgartner. And you just see like two cactuses.
Sting, scorpion bite.
You're like, now Brian, there, Brian.
Yeah. Now this is a real chilly adventure.
By the way, everyone was from Tennessee that we were talking about. I found out about this ventriloquist dummy museum in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Tennessee isn't Kentucky, but I still wanted to ask that guy, like, have you been to this museum? Because it looks amazing.
Well, let's talk to them next.
Hey, Brett, could we get the curator of the Vent Haven Museum in Fort Mitchell?
I would love it. Yeah, I would love it.
Right.
Yeah. Because I got to say, too, shout out, all these guests were just so
they're
great,
terrific.
Great
They're
to work with. They just they respond quickly, and they were just really great over email. And, so, yeah, I'd be happy to go after the ventriloquist dummy museum curators. I'll put them next on the list.
I like the double threat now that certain episodes are us being lousy to different subjects, and other ones are us being like this
reverent,
like a shitty Charles Kuralt is what we are.
Yeah.
Combing America and going into the little corners of things in the communities. We've kind of carved out a path. What
if we just started an episode called "It's Crime Time" and people think it's true crime, and then it's just us talking about ventriloquist dummies?
Yeah. The crime of ventriloquism not being as popular as it should be. Hey, it's a true crime podcast.
No, it isn't.
No, Billy. Nothing to me, literally nothing is funnier than a ventriloquist acting nice to the audience and the dummy crapping on the audience is the funniest dynamic in all of comedy.
What a nice audience. No, they're ugly. Billy?
Yeah. Billy, you don't say that. This is a great audience, Billy.
Yeah, for grinding up and making sausages out of.
And it's just, and it's the single funniest dynamic there is one person
reprimanding himself via a doll.
Yes, and also creating an avenue to just crap on people.
It's the best. It's the best. It might be the only art form.
We should do an all ventriloquist episode because it won't work on the show.
I think we're just doing that literally just for the screenshot of the Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, I could use some help from listeners on this because I know, Julian Tom, way back in an early episode, you had asked to get ventriloquist dummies of yourself. I believe in which my budget was like $300 for Julie and like $10 for Tom. I think.
Yeah, but now it's much less. Now it's much less.
So
now we're going to $30 and $5.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm willing to put some Forever Dog money behind this, but my issue was, yeah, of course, yeah, this is a great idea. My issue.
What should we do? What should we do with this FD green?
Oh, no, this is just specifically for ventriloquist dummies. It's not like a blank check for just any purchase.
Well, there goes my makeover montage.
We can't just do I thought we'd do a thing where like, yeah, Brett, I found a guy who'll do the dummies, and then we're just like making them ourselves. Yeah, give me the money and I'll forward it to him.
We're in like Acapulco. You can see in
the
background that we're like drinking tropical drinks.
Yeah, and then we're trying to just make we
have like a sock on our hands.
Those look like hand puppets. I can't really see because the
cocktail napkin.
No, they don't.
I'm trying to make one out of a cocktail napkin. Just whatever's around the resort.
If there's anyone who can make us ventriloquist dummies that look like ourselves, we will buy them and we will do an episode where the two of us do ventriloquism.
Yeah, please reach out to me at doublethreatpod@gmail.com. My issue was I did look into this. I found lots of people online who would make custom puppets, but they look they're like kind of Muppety. Everybody's doing a sort of Muppet vibe, puppet vibe. We want it's like ventriloquist dummies, real authentic ventriloquist dummies.
Yeah, because I saw this George Lucas talk show. They had their puppets well after we talked about having puppets.
Thank you. Yeah, I noticed that too.
And God bless them, they can do whatever they want. But I don't want nobody saying like, "Oh, you guess wonder where you got that idea from."
We're not going to do no Muppets. You hate Muppets. We ain't going to do no Muppets. We want one of them creepy. The eyes go back and forth.
I was warming up to Muppets. This is God's honest truth. I was warming up to Muppets, and then on the fateful day of January 6th, when I saw at least 8 Muppets storming the Capitol. I was sickened to see Beaker and Waldorf, not the other one, just Waldorf, just making their way through that storied building and seeing them disgrace it. And when I saw Gonzo smear his own feces on the wall of the Capitol, I was sickened, and I said, never will I love the Muppets.
Tom, you mentioned George Lucas Talk Show. I also have to point out their producer, Patrick, got some traction on a Jack Nicholson tweet this week, and I thought that was very interesting timing.
Oh, no, it's funny where these ideas seem to fall from the sky with him. Very interesting.
We got a lot of good things coming up.
We got all sorts of guests in the pipeline and fun ideas because this is Double Threat, baby, and we know what we're doing. And I feel now that I've got this chili monkey off my back, I can fly.
Oh my God, what a sentence. That's like my favorite Fish song, by the way.
Chili monkey on your back.
Now I can fly.
Now I can fly.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Please go on Apple Podcasts and write us a review, right, Brett?
That's right. Yeah. If you, we love all the comments you're leaving on Twitter. We love engaging with you guys there. The Chili Jack memes are just absolutely fantastic, and we'll have some more fun games on there for you. But the thing that really helps the show in terms of building our audience is if you can go leave a review on Apple. Give us a 5-star. Leave your comment there.
Just copy and paste. Copy and paste.
Rate, review, tell your friends, subscribe, spread the word. Double Threat ain't going nowhere, and so it's time to get on the team, or you get ground up in the wheels like so much
chili,
ground beef that goes in a real
red,
chili,
Texas red,
a Texas red, and there's no beans. If I find beans in this thing, I'm walking you
shoot
right
myself
off
in the face.
I'm gonna shoot myself in the face. I'm gonna take it out on myself, and you don't want that hanging on your conscience. No beans.
No.
All I want is a original chili where it's ground beef, and some Hunt's tomato paste, and a Hershey bar or two, and then maybe some breadcrumbs on top.
And some ghost
you
peppers.
pour it in a pie. You put some ghost peppers.
I'm a ghost pepper.
Yes, I don't want to be scared by these ghost peppers.
I don't want to be ghosted by them.
Yeah, if you get ghosted by a ghost pepper.
Humiliating.
It is humiliating.
Hey, just wondered, haven't heard from you. Please don't ghost me. Please just tell me that you don't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
The pepper's like,
Pepper's just like, oh,
you're
God
like,
damn
the
it.
texts get more and more abusive. It's like, all right, like, just ignoring me is really rude. And then you're just like, this is making me go insane. And you're like, oh, he blocked me. I'll just say whatever I want and be like, you piece of shit. I never liked you. And then they finally write back, be like, hey. And you're
Hey,
like,
my phone's been broken for 2 weeks. I'm so sorry.
What?
I should get my texts in about 5 minutes. They should show back up again. Then it's like, maybe delete.
Double threat. Thank you
Double
guys
threat.
for listening. And thanks to all of our fabulous guests. And we will be back next week with more fun things.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogTeam and liking our page on Facebook.
It's the new year and you're looking to get a new car. Then head to Toyota's We Make It Easy sales event to find incredible deals on many of Toyota's most popular models, like Camry, Camry Hybrid, Corolla, Corolla Hybrid, Prius, Prius Prime, and even Highlander Hybrid. You'll find great ways to save with low payment leases and low APRs, not to mention huge cashback offers. So see your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places. 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 Let's go places.